For sure.
Yeah,
So
you're crushing it.
I've lost a total of 56 pounds. I came in at 228. I started at 284, 285. And I didn't really start until like January-ish, late January.
Okay.
Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast. Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast. Welcome to the podcast. With your host, Matt Tack. With your host, Matt Tack.
Your host, Matt Tack.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Alfred Alessi.
Dr. Alfred Alessi.
Dr. Alfred Alessi.
They know by now, bro. They know by now.
I'm going to set what the new normal looks like in my life.
You're not limited by your genetics.
You have a superpower that is lifting people up. Dude, you
The only way we're going to get the word out is with you. Live full fueled. Live beyond limits, baby.
Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by VanNort Nutrition. Premiering, he has a couple different SKUs, but Transcendence pre-workout powder, the absolute best pre-workout on the market right now. Bunch of nootropics added in there, and will definitely get you tingling in the best workout of your life. This happens to be strawberry and vanilla taffy. My boy Taffy, Laffy Taffy.
Laffy Taffy, baby. And we dry scoop around here.
Right.
Dry scooping with a 40 cal beer. Dude, just getting after it. Cheers.
Might as well do.
I've had like 4 today.
How we do it?
My heart might stop.
Something's wrong with you. There you go.
All right, something's wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong. All right, cool.
Something wrong and something right.
Thanks, Corey
There's
Van
a
Dorn.
lot of right, a lot of wrong.
That's right.
Corey Van Dorn. We'll just keep that right here. Show everybody. I think there's a peach ring, and then there's also there's a strawberry vanilla.
So one thing I want to say about this really quick. I have another brand pre-workout. It's good, but this one specifically,
just hold that and then pass it.
I can actually dry scoop. All the other ones that I've tried to dry scoop, it's like so powdery, so fine that the powder gets in, you kind of get like choked up. This was actually really good, and it tastes like the sea salt taffy that you buy like when you're out in the by the beach, St. Augustine. You run and get that the taffy from them. Tastes actually pretty good.
Yeah, it does taste really good.
So what'd you guys think about the jungle gym?
Oh, dude, I had so much freaking fun there. I felt like a kid again. It's just like, my entire body was sore today because I did everything. I literally hit every exercise and workout there the entire time. I think it's good.
So thinking about the Laffy Taffy, I truly felt like I was a kid in a candy store and a toy store at the same time.
Right?
Like I
Throwing
swear,
shit around, just like jumping
dude,
around.
I swear you can lift 10% more there.
100%.
Like I'm convinced.
Yeah.
That's where you got to be careful, because like going into that, I actually thought of that. I'm like, dude, I don't want to blow out a shoulder. Like, you know what I mean? That's like the worst thing that possibly could happen. You're just friggin' and you tossed up them 90s because you were amped up.
Yeah.
So and the things were monstrous, right? Those stones on either side. You're working out with like legitimately Flintstone weights.
Yep.
So then it becomes one of those things you got to protect yourself. And another thing is too, specifically about that gym, is you got to be a little bit more careful because so many people don't train and work out those stabilizers. And so when you got like the stones hanging on the other side, we're doing those squats and doing the deep squats. I was shaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can easily blow out a knee. I guarantee you day after there's been some serious injuries, but didn't take away from the allure. It was fantastic. Right on the beach, just hanging out, doing some cool stuff. So
Yeah, I remember in high school watching the videos of like the Africans like in like the middle of nowhere
Yeah,
Africa with like train wheels. These guys got like 100-pound train wheels like on a barbell doing squats and shit, or like whatever they could find, like concrete blocks. And that's kinda
everything.
what that was, yeah.
It's
But it was clean. It was super clean.
So I did the Matt's gracious enough to not talk about the failure. I like talking about the failures on my side. Picked up the 110s and they were so wide that my left arm gave out, and that's why I jumped back to the 99s with the cement 99s. But the crazy thing, so I posted that video and my boy hit me. He's like, you can't go down now. I see you lifting the 99 dumbbells. He's like, now we're gonna have to go hard every day. But I posted my video, and on my Facebook I never get crazy hits. I get 200-300 views, whatever. This one so far is like 2,800 views doing that lift at the Jungle Gym.
Yeah.
And it converted my account to a digital creator account now.
One video.
But we're already planning another trip back.
Yeah,
And my boy's like, dude, we got to come back. So
I'd love to come back.
Yeah, no, this is next level. I think shout out to Secrets Machhe. I mean, the setup here is just nasty. It's awesome. Rooms are beautiful. You know what? One thing that always comes back home to is like experiential and experiences is like, even though everything's super nice, the food, like they hit on every single thing.
level.
But the one major thing that points out is like their employees obviously go through a rigorous system of like training because they all smile.
Oh, so nice.
They all are so nice. They can I help you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like everyone, they make eye contact.
The
It, like
language, training on the language,
Yeah.
learning English, like that's really,
Yeah.
really big.
huge.
They're
Like
taking
yeah,
their
there's
job
no
seriously.
barrier.
They take their job seriously, and they're like a part of the business. Even though they probably don't have any stake in the business, they're just an employee. They take it as if they are. Like my
Everyone-
face belongs here.
Yeah,
You know?
everyone truly appreciates the fact that you're here. That's the way I perceive. They truly
Yeah.
appreciate
Feels like that.
that you've came and stayed at their properties.
You turned on that one too, right? The mic.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone appreciates it. It's just like, and I mean everything. I mean, you're down by the pool, dude. Even went to the club, and there was this dude, Sergio. I've gotten to know him, and he was just like an awesome dude. Just like I saw him last night before I came in bed. Gave him a what's up, dude? What's up, Matt? Like remembers your name. Those are the things that create that experiential. That like, that I'm sure you train your resources too on. Like training is so huge.
Yeah, so people think your business is the product that you're pushing, but we focus more on training and development on the agents themselves because it's the customer experience that retains the client, not the product that you're pushing them into. All right, so you can have the most amazing product in the world, but if you have poorly trained sales reps or poorly trained customer service reps, that product will never make it to market. So if you actually foundationally train to truly take care of the client, even if it's a bad issue that's coming back to you, right? On our so it's just for us, and specifically, we put someone in a product, an insurance product, and they had something in the past they didn't tell us about. So now the insurance product isn't going to pay for that specific thing, and now they're coming back to us. So we still take those calls and turn that client around into something positive. No matter what it looks like, we go above and beyond to make sure that client's happy. And sometimes we tell them, like, hey, I truly believe that this carrier with this product over here, even though we're brokers, so it doesn't happen a lot, but this carrier and company would actually serve you better. Here, let me give you the direct contact for this person there. And that's just, we serve everybody the same way, no matter if you make, 10 grand a year, if you make 10 million a year. Every single person that comes to our company is treated the exact same way.
Yeah, that's how it's got to be, man. Yeah, bro. Talk a little bit about the transformation you did, man.
Oh.
Pitch fit and with us.
So,
like, just all
Yeah, so I'm down total.
I'll actually explain it like and how that's even like translated to your business as well.
For sure.
Yeah, 'cause
So
you're crushing it.
I've lost a total of 56 pounds. I came in at 228. I started at 284, 285. And I didn't really start until like January-ish, late January.
Okay.
So I was able to knock it down super quick with Hitch Fit with Mike and Dynam. They're great, great individuals. They're all the way down to their soul. They truly want to see people do better for themselves. And then I got with Matt and Doc with Full Fueled. And so Mike and Dinah Hitch Fit is more like, hey, here's the plan, here's the process, email me. And then the community with Full Fueled really pushes you. And I'm the type of person, I'm the let's get it guy. And so that actually motivates me more for me to be able to post the videos and do those things. And then transcending into business, right? So I've lost 54 pounds or 56 pounds. And I posted a video and I wasn't even at the full, and I'm still not at my full transformation. But some guys that I helped consult on insurance prior, and that deal, fell through. It didn't go south. Our relationships were still good, but he kind of distanced a little bit until I posted up a video or a picture of myself, and he messaged me, and like just hey Skinny Ricky, he always called me Slick Rick, and he's like, oh, Skinny Ricky now, right? And that converted into a trip to the Bahamas, meeting a massive real estate guy out of the UK,
Nice.
putting some deals together there. It turned into being able to be the premier agent or the preferred agent on over 84 clinics in Orlando to help all the homeless people get free insurance, to be able to kind of help them there and save the nonprofits money where they can reallocate those funds. So now it's just like everything from when I really took my health seriously and gained control of that, my business just 10x'd and out of nothing I did special, right? It wasn't I worked on the business, I actually worked on myself, and it came through to the business side. So we've been super blessed there. Literally, as soon as I started focusing on making sure that I was taking care of myself, the business just naturally started doing more.
What do you think that is? What is that? What is that factor, right? Because like you even said, like you show up and you got your meals and everything, you're dialed in, your employees can see it. So it's like they're working harder probably, right?
Yeah.
They're like, damn, Ricky's putting in work. Like, let's work harder.
I think it's discipline. They see that the person that they're
You good, buddy?
what's up?
This guy looking like a grandpa with his cargo shorts on.
It's a swimsuit, bro. What are you talking about?
Dude, I can't even look at you, Joe. We're trying to have a serious conversation here. You got your cut off and some cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts?
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
The cargos. We're back in the
Don't worry about what I'm
90s.
doing, all right?
We're back in the 90s, fellas.
Do you? These are super funky. All right, funky.
But I think they see the discipline that's involved to transform yourself and the choices that you're making. They're like, it goes from, hey, this guy's paying me and I'm making good money, to, hey, this is a leader making sure that his home is right, his health is right, and his business is right.
Yeah.
So it generates a sense of community inside the business. So now almost all of the agents that work directly with me are working out. So one of my agents, Tony, which he's come out a couple times, he's the one that holds me accountable. So now his wife, which is my admin and an agent, and he's one of my top agents. So she works out with Miriam now, right? And then my guy Danny, he's back in the gym. Well, he's already freaking massive. He just hasn't been in the gym in a while. And then we just recruited 2 other guys that came on, and they're working out together.
That's awesome.
So we're actually creating, and Tony likes to take credit for it, and he's a big, massive part of it. But we're actually creating an environment that we're promoting a healthy lifestyle, and it's just like catching like wildfire now.
Part of your
It's
culture
amazing.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well,
man.
yeah. So what is you decided collectively? This is really important because I think this speaks to a lot of people. And one thing that you did, and I think it was strategic, was to come into this with Miriam, because Miriam is obviously Ricky's wife. Ricky's an entrepreneur, and one of the things is like you were done leaving her behind. Like it wasn't just like you doing things separately; it was you then doing together. So like, tell us how important that was. That's huge.
Yeah. So there's that. It's actually 2 steps inside of that. The first step was I've so focused on business and running, and I've been running for so long, and I was living a wrong lifestyle. So the business wasn't doing what it needed to do, so I had to put more time in it. And she always wanted more time, so I said, you know what? It's a perfect avenue because we do all cardio together now. So both of us together do cardio, hitting 5Ks in under 30, right? So that was a big portion of it that's changed her life, and it's changed mine as well, to say, hey, we can do stuff together. Because I was always one like, nah, you can't work with the business with me because like I have to be a certain way in business and can't be that. And that's not true. And I'm realizing that. But 2, she's been a stay-at-home mom for 4 years now. And she lost her sense of who she was and her purpose. And this actually, not knowing that it was going to do that, it's actually gave her community a sense of purpose.
That's awesome.
And making her feel so much better and so much more than what she felt before. So it was super, super important that we did it together to hold me accountable, right? So because if we're both working together, neither one of us are going to be eating the bad food. So it's kind of like a thing to where strategically it's like, okay, if you do this with me, we're not going to go have that dessert, and we're not going to go to a restaurant that's not going to have the food that we need.
Yeah.
So that was a strategic part there, but the back end of it, what she's feeling now is so much greater than what I had imagined.
Especially with kids too. I mean, you know this, right? Like your wife needs to be on the same page as you, or else you're buying snacks for the kids, and then that's just the option is there. Even if you're like super dialed in, bro, it's like there's nights where you just come home late, you're tired, and you're like, man, that bag of Funyuns looks
it looks
pretty
good.
freaking good.
Well, I
You
actually
just
have
eat the whole
a
thing.
have a cheat code for that now.
Let's hear it.
And I'm sorry, I'm taking all the time.
Take the mic,
No.
baby.
I feel like Matt wants to talk.
No, that's you.
So we actually went to Matt's house after a workout, and he was gracious enough to cook for us, and he cooked the Kodiak waffles, the protein waffles, or the pancakes. Then I went back that day. I went back home and I told my wife, "Hey, we're throwing the pancake mix out. We're throwing the waffles out.
Let's get the
We're
goods.
throwing everything out." I said, and I told her, I said, "We don't. I now know based on what you did for me. So I now know we can give the kids the things that they still like, but a better version
Yeah.
of that. So we're not, taking something away and
right.
replacing it with something that doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
We're actually taking it away and replacing it with something that still tastes good that they enjoy eating, so they don't feel like they're being punished." So that was a big, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize you did it at the time, but that was really big to, I want to show my kids like, hey, if you continue this lifestyle, this is what you're going to look like, and show them a picture of me. But let's switch a couple things up,
Yeah.
and then show them a picture of Micah, right?
Yeah.
So
Look, this is your dad, and take it.
Yeah, this is over. This guy over here, sexy grandpa with his cargo shorts. Yeah. Oh man,
You're just jealous. Dude.
sexy dude. The cargos are.
I can carry so many things. In
Yeah.
Pockets.
Did you get those out like on Poshmark? Friggin' for
No, I got these for
$5 from a 76-year-old man.
$7 at TJ Maxx. That's how I roll.
You bought these from Frank, didn't you? You got them.
I bought these for this trip, and now I'm getting roasted about them. So I might just leave them
Oh,
here for the
like me
bellboy.
where my boxes are hanging down farther than my shorts are.
Yeah, but those shorts.
Yeah, I like that. But that's like a thing nowadays. I do that all the time. I like the little spandex look a little bit further down with the 7-inch trim. You know what I mean?
You can play with 5.5 inches, but
Yeah,
I
but
think the 7 inches kind of.
well, when you pretty Ricky, you pretty much can run away with anything. When you as pretty as Ricky.
Oh man.
Dude, we are looking out right now. I can't even imagine. Maybe we'll put a clip in what we're looking at as we record this, but like pure epicness. Cozumel's probably 11 miles away, but you can kind of see it in the distance.
That's the island.
And then you just see like turquoise and blue ocean.
How is it that we can see the island 11 miles
Dude,
away, Matt?
What
How is that?
what is it that that's another podcast right there, but
the Earth was supposed to kind of like curve.
what is it that's so amazing about like the ocean that gives that like peace? I think there's been like an intentional piece about like this trip, you know what I mean?
Mm.
That just been really therapeutic in the
Have you-
process. I mean, I know it's the negative ions that are coming off and kind of
There's
neutralized.
definitely like minerals in the air, but like, have you heard the birds this trip?
Hearing them right now.
Dude, like remember we had that episode with Jay Campbell on the show, and he talks about a lot about how like if you're in a negative mind space or you're depressed or you're having anxiety and you go outside, like the way that God has created the world, man, is like it's in unison, and the birds will feel your energy and they will start to like create tunes that will literally calm you. And
Wow.
this morning when we were in that prayer huddle down there by the beach, I don't know if anyone was focusing on the birds. I heard them, dude. They were doing some weird sounds. Some weird like brrr, like deep sounds that like I was like I didn't even know those birds made that, and it was like they were trying to like get in on that action, bro. It was freaking cool, man. I was giving me goosebumps, but yeah, this whole like jungle kind of vibe right here, palm trees.
Yeah,
It's very peaceful.
it's honestly so it's just so therapeutic and epic. It's peaceful. It is. It truly is. So what else we got to talk about, boys?
I don't know, that beach talk, the ocean talk just kind of relaxed me in my eye. I'm
I
chilling
know.
now.
I'm like,
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
that's kind of my thing. I'm like, man, it's okay to be quiet sometimes, though.
We can talk about kind of just a couple things that we liked about the trip, maybe, or kind of what the future looks like.
I think, actually, I got a question for you. when I asked a similar question to Diana, because it's always like when you do something like this, when you're like trying to achieve a goal in a certain amount of time frame, specifically when it's like associated to exercise, it's something to like you can revert back to like the old traps that got you before. What is going from this moment? You lost like about 56 pounds. Like, what is going to propel Ricky forward, going forward? Like, what is it? What is it that's going to keep you moving?
So one wonderful thing is I got these guys right here that's gonna continue to motivate me. But we also, Mike and I, right after the trip, are redesigning the plan and hitting the next goal. So the next goal,
keep moving
yeah,
forward,
we're gonna
yeah.
keep moving forward. But the next goal is to drop another 15 pounds. But the long term goal isn't a number on a scale for me specifically. It's I want to have a maintain of about an 18% body fat, and have a maintain that as my lifestyle, is the long term goal, and we're gonna set up incremental goals to make sure that we always have the eye on the prize. But you can't stop, right? If you stop, that's when you go back to those traps.
Momentum, bro. It's huge.
It's huge. So after, even now, after I can go out and eat and kind of do what I want now, and still picking up that that pastry or something, you're thinking in your mind, like, dude, I just spent 4 months
Yeah.
of my life to drop this off. So you automatically start second guessing the things that you're doing. But really having those goals outside of the goal that you just hit is a massive part to ensure that you're going to continue to move towards the main goal that you have for yourself.
You have to, bro. And your goal has to always be bigger, too, right? Like, you can't, like, right? I mean, you set the same goal all the time. Even if you hit it, you can't have the same goal. You have to elevate it.
Yeah, you got to elevate it.
Have to
Yeah, there's but there's patient in the process too. Patience in the process. Like there's what do they call it? There's a power in the pause as well too. Like of understanding and kind of like coming back and being like grateful for that period. I think so many of us entrepreneurs want to move on to the next thing too quick, right? So like creating that pause and almost planning kind of for what's next of like what that level up is going to look like. But one thing, dude, that I've been doing recently because I think there's a net value in hard work and reward. And so like I'll work out, but one thing I'll do, you mentioned like pastries, and I'm like, dude, they're like some epic desserts there, like epic desserts. But I just don't eat the whole thing. Like so many people go into it and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat this, 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 and this," and then they eat like 1,000 or 1,500 extra calories because they think they need to eat the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But like we talk about this a lot in our optimizers, like it's almost like if you're looking to lose weight too, it's almost like eat like obviously prioritize protein, but eat until you're 80% full. You don't have to gourd yourself, get to the maximum, and then be like, oh, and then I'm gonna eat the pastry and a couple other things just to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Then that's when you're like, that's way over the top. For me, it's prioritize protein, 80% full. Like I'm not, I'm still controlling my insulin levels where I'm not just like absolutely crashing after I eat. Like it's important to cognitively like use those, as a like resourcefulness. But then reward yourself a little bit too. Like I ate a cheesecake before I left there, but I only ate half of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And cheesecake's honestly not the best at all. But like I'm like, hey, when in Rome, you got to live by the 80-20. And we're definitely in the 20. This is the minority. I don't always do that. Definitely, I'm like in Mexico at a 5-star resort. Like I like sweets, I just I'm protective on kind of what I consume, so I don't over consume those sweets, and that's where people get, because their output, especially on vacation, that your output isn't you're going to be nearly as high, so you need to minimize that level of exposure and making sure that you're setting your mindset, for when you go back home. That's when the 80% happens, right? What am I doing on a day-to-day basis that, is prioritizing? Hey, am I getting Kodiak pancakes? So I'm again prioritizing protein. Am I eliminating a lot of that stuff where it's like maybe a little plain Jane throughout the week, so the reward cycles don't come as often because you're putting in the work to then get to that. I know that one of the major things that I had like a business coach is like, you shouldn't be doing like anything. You shouldn't be going on a vacation, to be honest with you, unless you've worked for it, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like you got to put in the work, then you take the vacation, right? You put in the work, then you take the vacation. So like you put in that effort, and then there's a small reward. I was just saying in one of our kind of mini series is that like, there's 3 different stages really to business. There's the grind phase, there's the growth phase, and then there's the gold phase. The grind phase, like you honestly can't take that much time off. It might be like a day or two, right? The growth phase, you can take a little bit longer off because you're probably a little bit more stabilized, but you're growing at that capacity. So like that could be like, a week, but you're dialing in some emails, still making calls. The gold phase, you've got the infrastructure and systems in place where you can probably elongate the time period. You could go work remote or whatever it might be, but there's like various degrees at which you can do these things from a business standpoint that you have to be kind of in tune with. You agree with that?
1,000%. I believe we're in the growth stage now, but for me, I always work, so I always have my phone on me. But a lot of people get stuck in the grind phase. What I notice with the accounting firm is a lot of businesses, they can't grow because they don't know how to delegate. All right, they feel like they have to control everything, do everything themselves.
That's me for a while, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with all actuality, if you spent that 40, 50 grand on a salary, you could actually triple or quadruple your net revenue numbers because you actually have more time to do the income producing activities.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is that I learned in my business is you don't delegate the things that you like to do. You delegate the things that you don't like to do, right? And if you delegate those things, you're actually going to excel so much better by doing the things that you enjoy doing every day.
That's right. Yeah.
And a lot of people, like people who likes to do billing. Billing sucks, right? But it's hard to mess up. So you delegate that. But a lot of people have control because it's a part of the revenue. It's how they collect money. So they feel like they have to do that. For us, the biggest thing that we get people to understand is, hey, let us take the bookkeeping, payroll off your hands, the accounting. Let us do that for you. And then now you're going to open up 4 hours a week extra that you can actually focus on that income producing activity. Because this stuff over here is not producing your business any income at all. So the delegation part, people get stuck in that grind and never get to that growth phase, or they try to grow, but they're still trying to do everything, and then they don't see the value in the employee.
So important.
Yeah, and that's like goes back
That's
to
the
what we
value.
were talking about with like the hiring smart, right? Like not running through people and having to hire all the time because you're just making that quick impulse decision, but like finding a culturally sound fit, somebody that buys into it and is
It's a
personality wise, right?
That's a portion of it, but business owners expect their employees to do what they would do for their business,
Yeah.
right? And what I tell them is, why would someone do what you're willing to do when they don't have the same reward as you? Right? So I tell them all the time, if you find someone that's willing to do 70% of what you're willing to do, you actually have an exemplary employee.
Yeah.
If they do 70% of what you're willing to do, which is amazing, by the way, in the workforce industry, like, you have a great employee there. All right. So I think as business owners, we got to reset that mind. No one that works for you should ever care about your business as much as you do.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they think they have to. So finding that 70%er, and Gary Vaynerchuk said something great that sticks with me, and I don't follow him religiously. I don't follow Grant Cardone. I don't follow any of them religiously. I take pieces from all of them. But Gary said, you want to find their happiness and help them achieve their happiness, not them achieve yours, right? Because you may have that one employee that wants to make 40 grand a year, but only work 35 hours because he wants to be at the soccer games. He wants to do the weekend travel with the kids. He wants to do all that. And then on the very other side of that, you may have that employee that wants to make 150 grand a year, and you show them how to do that, right? So you find everyone's happiness, and then you control that, because your happiness, just because you want to make more money doesn't mean that yours is more important than the guy that wants to spend the time with the family. Once you find that, you find a 70% employee, you help them. And the crazy thing here is that people don't realize, you find the 70%er, you make their life happy. Now, guess what? Now you have an 85 or 90%er working for you.
They're in. Yeah,
So that's what I've learned in my journey so far.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's huge. That's good value. So if you're an entrepreneur, man, you need to be listening to this episode. That's for sure.
For sure.
There's no doubt about that. I think that goes for just obviously being a great leader and I wanting to like I think it's kind of like reversing the mindset, flipping the script of like they don't work for me, but I work for them almost mentality. Not almost mentality, that's the mentality. Like I work for them because that's the only way to like truly grow and add value and exponentially increase your business is like what is it that how can I add value to you today that would make your life a little bit better so that we all can level up together. I think that's huge in terms of just like overall growth and scale. And then once you get to that point, it's just basically just keep building those systems and infrastructure and duplicating the process over and over again. What's cool, something you said that I think was really, really cool. He's like, if you took everything away from me, like you could take everything, strip it, minus my network. Like you can take my network, but like you could strip everything away from me. I could build it all back again. Speak into that a little bit.
Yeah, so there I used to have this scarcity mindset of I have to protect this baby. It's my baby. No, it's obviously any business, it's your baby. You want to make sure it succeeds. But going through a couple trials in other businesses, and well, that's for another podcast. But after really getting a clear mind and really focusing kind of what I've been doing recently, literally everything can be taken away, and even all the way down to maybe the network because I know how to network now. You can find another network. I could build back my business if everything was taken away today. I truly believe I can build back my business inside of 60 days.
Wow.
Inside of 60 days, no matter what happened, one, my industry is not going anywhere. It's going to be here forever. Insurance is never going, like, no matter what kind of insurance it is, it's not going anywhere. But I have the skill set now, and I'm continuing to get better. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, but, and I believe you guys have that same skill set. The business can shut down tomorrow, and I can literally go get a sales job somewhere and then open another business and run it. And inside of 60 days, I'm not going to be rich in 60 days, but inside of 60 days, I can have another successful business
Be functional, yeah.
that's going to be functional, that's going to be generating revenue and grow bigger and faster than the last one.
So what's cool is I've been watching this like series because I was like, oh, this is so interesting. There's this series called Undercover Billionaire, and they give him $100, and then he goes to Erie, Ohio, or Erie, Pennsylvania, or Erie, Ohio, or somewhere. But it's an underdog town, right? And the first thing he does, it seems like he's doing really dumb stuff. Like I'm like, dude, that doesn't seem like it's gonna work out. And honestly, I think it's a little bit of it's fronted because I'm like, there's no way. Because he bought a house like with $100, he was able to facilitate like enough money. Somehow I missed the episode where he got the Cadillac. He somehow got a Cadillac, and then he made 10 grand on the Cadillac. So I was like, all right, you got a Cadillac, okay, like you can flip a car. So somehow he got a Cadillac for cheap, flipped that real quick. Maybe he got it on consignment. I think that's what he did. He got a Cadillac on consignment, sold it, and then made a little money off of it. So it shows him over the course of 90 days, basically trying to build up a nest egg fund of $40,000 to open up the business to be valued at $1 million at the end of 90 days. It has to be valued. It doesn't have to. So, but what he does immediately, he starts networking with all the local business owners. And then he kind of like compiles them and then as a team, but they don't know who he is. And he has this like ratty old Chevy truck or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm sure they're figuring out who this guy is like at the end of the day, but still, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It was pretty cool because I think he ended up getting enough for a down payment on a house, and then he got a construction loan. I know he's from the mortgage world, but like, he ran into all sorts of problems with the house. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if you're going to be able to sell that in 90 days. And then, but he negotiated basically the purchase of a bar during that time frame, which was like pretty clever. And he gathered up and hired somebody. His idea was to create a beer and barbecue restaurant in 90 days, basically to get him to that point. So he negotiated essentially the purchasing, like the renting of a bar. But it was, for $100, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, it's all about getting scrappy.
Yep. Gotta get gritty, dude.
You gotta get gritty. You gotta get scrappy. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta get scrappy to like kind of like to make things happen.
I think
So
one piece of that I believe a lot of people are missing is the prep time that he put into it, right? So what the show didn't show everybody, that the program didn't show, he knew where he was going, right? He knew
I don't
where.
think so. No, he didn't.
I think there's
There's kind of an
personally,
idea.
I feel like he maybe he didn't know exactly where he was going, but he had prep time, knowing I'm going to be dropped somewhere in this general area. This is the things that I'm going to do, and these are the things that I'm going to look for. So, with all that being said, the preparation of your plan, right? You can't just be dropped somewhere and handed $100 in the car and like so the preparation of figuring out the steps is the biggest piece that people don't see.
Yeah.
And it's the most important piece, I believe. Like, because you can be any of us can be dropped somewhere, and now with access to what we have is okay, we can jump on Google and see what our next steps are going to be, right? So we can take 40 hours, let's say, and really dial in a perfect plan to start from zero and run it. So it's all the prep work.
Sure.
And if you can sell, I mean, you have a superpower in that. Like sales is such a
Huge
it
part.
crosses all aspects of life, man. And like I think about that all the time. Like if there's any gift you can teach or any skill you can teach your children from a young age, which you do this with your girls, and give them the money kind of the mindset of like how money operates is like sales though. Like how can I get someone to give me money for something, right?
For a service,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, for either a service, a good, a product, whatever it might
It
be.
doesn't matter, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's powerful.
Yeah.
And and it translates to relationships too, right? How do you sell yourself to somebody you want to be with? All that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all how you market yourself. It's hands
Absolutely.
down, like super important. Sales and marketing, I think, is the engine that kind of propels, gives everything else gas.
Yeah, where I was going with that is like if you stripped everything away, you know how to sell.
Yep.
It could be whatever. Like the skills translate across all everything.
Yeah.
Right?
For
you
sure.
just go find something, figure it out, start selling it, get some money raised, and then boom, you're going.
And you're there for
Yeah.
sure. 100%. You know how to sell. You can go anywhere. Like literally. And this is I got a buddy and he's a finance manager at a dealership, and I joke around. I said, dude, if I was hurting really bad, I'd just go sell cars. You can go sell cars right now with social media, and you can make 150 grand in a year, and then go and do whatever you want as long as you live frugal enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then that flows into a lot of different aspects. But the other sales job, you'll come in, make 30, 40 grand, and you'll gradually go up. Except for the insurance world. Hey, anybody that wants to do insurance can reach out to me. I got a pathway to 450 grand a year. But going down to it to build the capital and everything, you can jump into car sales and just commit to being on that lot 80 hours a week, and I guarantee you make no less than 150 grand. Easy money.
Easy money. Easy money. The other thing is too, I love how Alex Mosey says this. If you want to make a lot of money, solve rich people problems. They pay rich people prices. So, bro, we'll have to have you on another one. We're gonna have to get to a party here soon.
Yep.
As always, it's a pleasure, man.
Absolutely.
Love you,
Love
man.
you
You're
guys, too.
you're an absolute brother, and we'll do a part 2 with you. Much love. Live full fueled. Live beyond limits, baby. Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast.
I'm going to set what the new normal looks like in my life.
You're not limited by your genetics.
You have a superpower that is lifting people up.
So unfortunately, most businesses aren't going to use the highest quality ingredients.
What's your approach?
Dude's jacked.
I know he's jacked. That's why I'm asking him how he trains.
I don't think he lifts.
Yeah.
Consistency in everything that we do that really compounds. Only way we're going to get the word out is with you. Live full fueled, live beyond limits, baby. Let's go.